Hello, gorgeous soul, and welcome to this epic podcast. This is a place where you are encouraged and you have absolute freaking permission to unapologetically go after all of your dreams, all of your visions, all of your things on your vision board, like everything that your heart desires. I'm your host, Angharad, the High Vibe Babe, and I believe that we're all in this life to expand and experience our wildest dreams. If one of us can have it, then we all can. So that is the aim of this podcast. Each week I'll either be going solo or have guests with the aim to inspire, uplift you and give you the tools for you to live your most epic AF life and business possible. You can find me on Instagram with the handle @HighVibeBabe. Now let's get into today's episode. Hello beautiful High Vibe Babes, Angharad here. Holy wookin' even wicka. Okay, cosmic coach. I am talking all about scaling your business, scaling to abundance, the energetics of it all, and what has really worked, what modalities I use for both me and my clients when it comes to success with scaling. Because the thing is, okay, you get your business, it deserves to fly. You are so inherently abundant. You have inherited so many codes and genes and so worthy of all the success that you feel in your bones, right? You feel it in your bones, in your business, and it's continuing. So the momentum you're building, like I remember looking back when you're like, I wish I just had like a few $1,000s a month, right? Oh my gosh, it's 10. Whoop, whoop. I wish I just had a few $1,000s a month, right? And then you keep on going, you're like, and you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember when I really wanted my income where I am now. And it's about, when it comes to scaling, one of the things that we actually do is we actually have quite a few stories as to why it's not good for us. So we have limiting beliefs, right? We have a lot of I describe them as like bungee cords that are keeping us here in this dimension when we really want to shift and we're heading off into a different dimension. And one of the things that I teach quite intensely in MMM, Money Manifestation Mastery, is about how to shift from the dimension where you are now into the dimension where you're heading, into where you desire, right? Your heart's desire. You feel them, they're delicious, the people you want to serve, the ripple effect you want to make on the world, like the massive impact and fulfillment, like the next level fulfillment within your personal life, within your business, within, the things you have in your life and the relationships you have, right? Like you can feel it all there. And you want to shift off to it. And so the thing we're multi-dimensional beings, right? Like all of this is actually happening all at the same time, all of the time. This is a possibility for you right now to shift in. And so how I describe it is, I keep on forgetting the name of it, but dressage horses, and when they're in an arena and they're doing the dressage and like they trot sideways diagonally, I don't know, it's so graceful, it's so beautiful, and I forget what it's called, but this is what I can see for both me and my clients as I'm manifesting, and as we're manifesting, shifting off into different dimensions. So in relation to our scaling our business, right? And so what happens is, as we're trotting across, it's about removing those bungees that are like the elastic bands almost, that are like keeping our human in this dimension, in this physical dimension, what we're manifesting in our current life, like how we look, what our business is like, where we are right now, what our relationships are like, all the things, okay? And so it's about removing those bungees. So it's like, and that's how we release them. We release those and we're able to step into that other dimension, okay? And so when it comes to scaling our business, one of the big things is firstly aligning with your own human design, okay? Like I'm a human design mentor. I'm going to preach about human design till the day I die. Human design is absolutely incredible, and listening to your strategy and authority and energy type and all the things will guide you to where you're meant to go, okay? But as we start trotting across, for like me, I'm an undefined sacral, I'm a manifestor. There's a whole lot of amazing projectors out there who are running incredible businesses. There are manifesting generators who can often skip steps, right? So adding team members to their team, but also there's other design types too, like so the generators and the reflectors, you guys also will come a time where you're probably going to want to add team members to your team. And I really want to explain how I've done this really successfully in my soul business. So one of the things that were like keeping me in this dimension where I wasn't able to scale in a way with the most aligned, delicious support team is the belief that it's going to be like it was in the past. It's going to be like it was. I was terribly bullied in my office, in my office management career. I was terribly bullied. It was horrible. It was just, it was yucky. Being employed by people was just so yucky. And then I've employed staff. Like I've been self-employed for 9 years now. We've employed a lot of staff members like in physical businesses in the past. So we've employed staff and it's not always been the most aligned relationship. So we've had those encounters either being an employee or being an employer where it just hasn't worked out how we wanted it to, right? And then we start a soul business and we have the most incredible aligned clients. We're like, how is this even possible? You are me, I am you. We are just like so passionate, so good on the same path, like so love being in each other's energy. It's like the most delicious experience in business ever, right? Like, oh my gosh, who is here for that? Like, totally me. So that's what we do. And then, but what you can actually do is you can apply that exact same feeling and the exact same relationship when it comes to adding team members to your team. So how you really do this is, well, firstly, I view myself as a soul client to the people that I'm working with. I employ self-employed people, so they have their own flexibility. They are running their absolute soul business. So I recommend you to work with people who firstly get your brand, okay? They understand your brand, they understand who you are, even people from your audience. Anytime I want to hire out some work, I always put it to my audience first because they're already following me. They're already in love with me. They already are engaging with me and get me and just love my brand, right? So they're going to understand my brand because I can't imagine trying to describe like what human design is to a 40-year-old male who has who's trying to create human design graphics for me. Like it's just not the path that I want to go down. Okay, I want some, because the thing is, and this is the thing I teach in High Vibe CEO Biz School as well, is that when you create content, right? Like, so for instance, when you're writing a post, okay, you can either write a post because you have to write a post, and you can write like, hey, this is some things I've done, and or like just, those quick posts where you're like, I did some journaling today and this was a thing, like, what are you up to today? Like something like that, versus like waiting until the urge for a manifestor, or like waiting for the sacral for a generator, right? Waiting for your authority to be like, let's go now. And you craft a post and it's just like fire. Like, I'm sure you've experienced that. It's just like, oh my gosh, you're sending this out and they're sending massive ripples out into, like, energetically, physically into the world, and it's massive, right? So that is the way that I create my content. And so I'm inwardly inconsistent, but I still remain outwardly consistent because of the masculine containers that I have, right? So I get to flow within my feminine while being in my masculine, while having a container, while like wanting to post frequently and do the stories and all the things, right? But it's the same thing when someone is creating content for us, whether they're creating content, whether they're creating graphics, or whether they're doing your podcast or whatever it is, doing your accounting, right? The people that get your brand are going to be doing the work in that same essence. So the vibe of them creating it, because they understand your brand, because they love you, because they love working with you, because you are each other's soul clients, is magnificent. It makes a huge difference. For instance, when I started hiring out my podcast editing last year, I hired someone who was in my circle, who got my brand, who was wildly obsessed with me, like literally like so obsessed with me. It's absolutely incredible. And my view counts like doubled every single month pretty much since then, just from me out. So firstly, I was able to be in my zone of genius, and this is the reason why adding team members has really worked for me, and it's working for a lot of my clients too, because we then get to, like, the energy leaks, the things where, like, when you have a cleaner come in, they clean your house and they only spend 3 hours a week cleaning your house, but you feel like you've gained like 10 hours or more, right? That for me is an energy leak, when the energy you get back is more than what you would have outputted, right? So that for me is like, that's what happened with my podcast, for instance. So I was able to hire someone who's so aligned, who's so delicious, who got my brand, who I was able to hand over creative control to as well, because remember, like, I'm hiring experts in my business. You're hiring experts. So they have their own creative flair. They have their own perspective. They have their own, like, expertise. So we actually don't have to control it all. And they can often do the job better than we actually could to begin with. So not only is it aligned, the relationship's aligned, okay? You have the soul client relationship between you and this person. And then they have the expertise. So everything is just going to fly. And then you've dropped your energy leaks. Honestly, there is so much power behind hiring really, really aligned people to help you on your team. So I added 2 new team members in the last week and a half to my team, doing one thing which is a total surprise, which no one's allowed to know about yet, but he is honestly, I'm so damn excited. And another person is a graphic designer for my she's literally finished the graphics this morning for my program Activate, which is going to be in full swing. I'm going to drop the thing in my stories, the graphic today in my stories. And I literally was on my bed this morning just crying with appreciation for these incredible people, because they just get me. They create incredible, massive work that I'm just so in love with my business, and I'm so in love with the relationships that I do have with people in my business. So like the thing is, we do have this conditioning, you know, from the past when you're employed or when you've all the things, you know, that's how it's going to be. But I'm here to show you that it doesn't have to be like that. Just the same way you have soul clients in your business, you also get to be a soul client within your business as well. And it is completely different. And this is how you scale energetically, massively. Your business will have so much more abundance because the vibe, the energy, the essence, everything behind it is just building and building and building. This is how you gain momentum. Okay, like I am my clients, like for instance, I was on a client call with one of my generator clients yesterday, and we're talking about adding more team members to her team. Okay, and I was like, oh my gosh, this would be an amazing hub. My clients can come to you and use your services because you're just incredible and amazing. And then, but of course, right, so she got a sacral, and she waited for an emotional cycle, which she was around her 0 at the time, so it's but then she needs to lean back and wait for a response. So she leaned back. Within 24 hours, one of her other clients said to her the exact same thing that we had planned on our client call, which is to add team members to your team, and then her client's client, so her grandbaby clients can begin to use her as well. Like you generators, your aura is literally magnetizing everything to you. And now my client is now beginning to act on that because she's in full alignment. She's in energetic alignment. Her human was ready, everything. And now she's shifting off into the other dimension because she shifted all the things that were keeping her bungeeing exactly where she is. Because the reality is anything we see, anything you've seen in anyone's business, in anyone's life, anything at all, physical in this life, that someone else has and you desire it, it's for you. It's for you too, boo. There is no difference between me, between you, between Amanda Francis, between anyone you look up to, okay? Tony Robbins. There is nothing different between you and anyone else. We are all energy. We are all souls having a human experience. Oh my God, I'm getting so passionate. But anything and more, right? Anything you can dream up, it can be yours, and it is yours in a dimension where you're shifting across. So it's about supporting your human and removing the limitations, the dominant vibrations, all the things that are keeping you in this dimension, because you can shift into that. And that is literally the work that I do with my clients every single freaking day. My business is actually, by business terms, this online business is actually relatively young. So it's not even 2 years old yet. And it originally started as a food blog. So it started as a food blog, and then I began coaching in April last year, and I started a podcast in the beginning of 2019. I started a food blog and a podcast, then started coaching sort of a few months later, and then I began hiring out my podcast stuff before I was even making a profit in my business. Quite honestly, I just felt the call to with my manifestor urges. I was like, I'm not getting urges to do this. It feels really aligned for me to hire it out, and that's when I began to like grow. And then I've added so many team members. Like I don't even know at this point, like because I do all specific things, and so I deal with about 7-ish people on a monthly basis, and then I have like a few other people as well that do, like photographers every few months, or I haven't had a photo shoot for a whole year, to be honest, but I've got one booked for in like a week's time. So I'm really excited about that because there are so many things coming in September, like so many amazing things. Anyway, so yeah, I truly believe like follow your authority, whatever your authority is telling you, whether it's sacral or emotional or self-projected or spleen, like no matter what your authority is within human design, listen to it, boo, because it's literally guiding you to your success. That's exactly what it's there for. It is always scary, whether we're hiring out a staff member, whether we're hiring a coach, whether we're jumping in a group coaching container, whether we're like jumping on a plane because we like have to go and have some time away and have some time alone. It always feels scary. But doing the next level things, right? Like I literally told this story very recently that I had these urges to like get my hair done every week, to get a blow wave every single week, okay? Back in like COVID lockdown, so like March. I began that, started doing that, and then I got the same sort of urge, like next level self, to go stay at a luxury hotel by myself. I did that, and then I made a whole lot of unexpected sales. I signed up to a high-level mastermind while I was there as well, and over doubled what I invested in the hotel and in the mastermind, and unexpected sales within like the time I was there, like 48 hours, right? And I shared all my stories, and one of the affirmations I've always told, which is one of Amanda Francis's, is no matter how much money I spend, I make more. So I shared that on my Instagram stories. I put a photo of the bill up. I took a photo on my steering wheel and shared it, and she shared it to her stories, and I've like had sales from that, and then shared about it again because I've continued to act in this way, right? It's always about following your intuition, is literally aligning you to everything, and you always look back and there's always stories of like, oh my gosh, like of course this happened, of course it was meant to happen like this, of course I was being led to this, because you always are. It's like I saw a quote the other day saying the universe is doing 90% of the work. You just have to do 10%. Are you doing your 10%? Like literally there is so much cosmically aligning for you. So much is happening on your behalf already. Like it's just about, it's very real. It's very real for us to feel human limitations and human emotions, right? Because we are emotional beings. Like this is what we're here for. We're here to experience the polarity. We're here to feel the adrenaline and the scaredness before we hit the scene, or before we, send the pain, or before we reach out. Like that's literally, it creates the polarity on the other side. We're like so damn excited. My clients are always so excited to pay me, and I'm always so excited to pay my mentors. I'm so like, the second that any of my team members send me an invoice, I pay them like straight away, no matter what their terms are. Even if it's 20 of the, I'm not going to pay for another 30 days or whatever, so it's 20th of the following month, I pay them immediately because I'm so fucking excited to pay them. Like it's so joyous. Like you always look back and never regret it. You never do. And it's just, and for me, like my story was, I allowed myself to sit in a place of contemplation for 10 years because I was just so full of fear of starting my first food blog. It took me 10 years to launch that food blog that I did under 2 years ago. And I finally did it, and now, like under 2 years later, I now have a multiple 6-figure online business. Like we are having a party this weekend because we had, I'm going to tell you actually, we're here. Okay, we're having a party this weekend, and we hit $333,333 income for the year in our businesses this year already. New Zealand dollars. And I wrote this on my vision board thing. I created a vision board in December last year, and I put my batshit crazy, I call them zero evidence goals, okay? Zero fucking evidence that was going to happen. At the time, I was making, I don't know, a few $1,000s in my business. I hadn't hit 5 figures yet a month, right? So just a few $1,000s a month in my business. And I wrote that down, and it's happened. And now I've adjusted it because it's like the middle of August. I'm like, there's so much time left in the year. What even, right? And so just do the batshit crazy things. You are here for so many big things. You honestly are. I can feel it. I can feel your energy here on the replay at the live, like listening to this. I can feel your energy, and I am here as a manifester. This is my human design. I'm a Swinic manifester. I activate the shit out of my clients. This is what I do. This is my specialty, right? And then I have the spiritual gifts, the psychic stuff, the 5D, the Acacia, like all of the spiritual things as well as the very real human support and strategies and business. Like there are so many things that I do within my business, but it is really powerful. And ultimately, I am here activating you and your dreams and your desires and shifting you into the reality, into the dimension where this is all yours. And I do this because I first did it for myself. And my clients now do it because they are being activated by me, and they have my support and their guides. Like there's so many yummy things. And this is what I do, and I absolutely love it. And I cannot wait to work with you. If you're feeling cool to work with me, I have many different ways to work with me. I have group coaching programs, I have masterminds and one-on-one coaching. There are so many things that I offer. And if you're feeling cool, boo, I am just a message away. You can message me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm more than happy to have a chat. And I'm sending you all of the love, and I will see you very soon. Bye. If you have enjoyed this episode, I would adore if you would screenshot it, chuck it up on your stories with your favorite takeaway moment, and tag me at Hi Bye Babe on Instagram so that more people can see this and get this content and get this message out there to really shape and change and impact other people's lives. Do you desire to be around more high vibe women who really get you, who encourage you, who support you no matter what? Yeah, well, guess what? I have a place that you belong. It is called High Vibe Babes Community. It is a free Facebook group, and I would love to have you in there. There are so many free trainings and epicness in this group, so please get your booty in there. It would mean the world if you would subscribe to this podcast, do the reviews, the rating, the stars, all of the things, Thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to chat with you on the next episode. I'm sending you all of the vibes and all of the love. Over and out from Angharad, the High Vibe Babe.